everyone, to the Wilmington Parks and Rec Advisory Board meeting this October 15th, which for all who don't know, this is also tax deadline day. And that's a good thing. I don't have to go back to work. I remember those days. Anyway, first order of business, and I don't see anybody present for a public comment period, so we will dispense with that. The next order of business is to approve the September 25 minutes. Everybody's had an advanced copy. Any comments, corrections, typos to those minutes? Okay, hearing none, we have a motion to approve the September 25 minutes.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Ingrid, second.
Second.
By Ron, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion passes. Okay. Next order of business is to talk about the Greenfield Park and the Lions Bridge grant application that we need to vote on. So staff.
Yes, I'd be happy to go over this. I do have a couple of paper copies if anybody wants them, but this is a little bit of a repeat. We're very fortunate. As you know, we've demolished Lions Bridge at this point due to safety issues. And we were very fortunate in July to receive the Great Trails State grant. I'm glad it's not just me. Hi, welcome. For $500,000, which is excellent. That was a matching grant and is really helping to stretch our capital dollars so that we can do this project. We got an updated cost estimate from our engineering firm that we've been working with, and there have been cost increases that we don't believe we are going to be able to cover in our current budget. So the timing worked out that we could apply for a Land and Water Conservation Fund grant. Those funds can be matched with the Great Trails State Grant funds. And so we are pursuing that application. It is has a deadline of November 3rd. We're going to be taking it to council next week. And the purpose of this brief presentation is to ask the board to consider their support of our application for this grant. I'm happy to answer any questions about the project that you might have. Oh, and let me show you, this is an early concept study we've got here of the bridge with these big platforms, viewing platforms. The bridge is going to be ADA compliant, which it was not before. It's going to be significantly longer to achieve that ADA compliance, but it will be in the footprint of the existing bridge and trail, which will minimize any disturbance, need for tree removal and that sort of thing. And it was the only significant crossing anywhere on Greenfield Lake that this is about a 5-mile loop trail around the lake, and it created this crossing here, which would sort of cut off this corner. And it's also, you know, just historically been well loved by the public for wildlife viewing and you know, enjoying the park.
By the Lions Club way back in the day when it was first built.
That's right.
Okay, hence the name. Now, how long is the small loop? You wanted to walk it or run it?
It's not a significant reduction. I mean, this is probably a quarter of a mile.
Okay.
Any benches? Sorry. Are there going to be any benches in the viewing area? I couldn't tell from the.
We haven't done the design yet, so this is concept design. If awarded the grant, we'll proceed with the actual design with the consultant.
What's the extent you know the total amount anticipated for construction?
Probably 1.3, 1.4 by the time we get to construction.
And what is the amount of the grant, the second grant that we get?
450,000.
So 900,000, so it comes up with 4.
Yeah, we had 630-ish allocated in FY25 CIP funding to replace the bridge. We've spent probably about 130,000 on that, on the engineering study, concept study, and demolition of the bridge. So the remainder of that plus the 500 from the Great State Trails grant, and then the LWCF will.
We apply in November. How long will it take to get approval? What's that process like?
It's in the spring
In the spring?
that we find out whether we've been awarded.
Oh, wow.
So fortunately, we can start the design process with the funding that we have now. So I'm really hoping that we'll be down the road when we find out where we are with the LWCF grant.
And beyond our control, but if it's not until the spring, I mean, prices could still rise, huh? The cost of
We're
living.
figuring that in when
Are
the
you
numbers are
putting on
making, he figures
escalation?
that in.
Good.
The LWCF cycle is still running as normal.
Yes.
And there haven't been any problems with it.
No.
Okay, well, I make a motion to approve. Is that what needs to happen?
Yes, absolutely.
Approve whatever you want.
I'm approving.
Okay, so we have-
I guess I should say what I'm approving, right?
So we're asking for your support in applying for the grant.
Absolutely.
So we have a motion on the floor by Ingrid to move forward and support staff in applying for the name of the grant again?
LWCF.
LWCF grant, so it's in, good. And I think we have a second by Joe. That is correct, okay. There's a motion on the floor, it's been seconded, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, good, motion passes. Very good. Good luck with that. It's wonderful.
Thank you.
Okay, old business, I guess, Amy, Greenfield Centennial event, time frame, or Sally?
Yeah, so we're really excited about how this has progressed. This year, 2025 is the 100th anniversary of Greenfield Park, and so staff has been planning a special event to commemorate that. And I guess probably our most major partner in this has been the Rotary Club, simultaneously. Just through great timing, that Rotary Club has been developing a plan for a complete redesign and reinstallation of the landscaping at the Greenfields Rotary Garden. And it's a lofty plan. And they just recently presented that plan to the other area Rotaries, and I'll allow Terry to elaborate on that if he wishes to, but basically, one component of the celebration is the Rotary Club announcing their capital campaign and their intentions on the landscape redesign, which is meant to, number one, serve as a catalyst for those gardens to be a destination for area residents and tourists, and also a learning site. A heavy focus will be on native planting and sustainable planting, and as a teaching garden for Wilmington residents on how they may apply the same principles to their own landscaping at home. Other components of the celebration, major one includes a burial of a time capsule to commemorate the first 100 years, to be opened in 100 years from burial of the time capsule. And our corporate affairs department has been a great partner in this, and we're soliciting items to place in that time capsule. This is going to be on November 1st, beginning at 11 a.m. Other activities include children's activities with bounce houses, fun vendors like that, food trucks, but also vendor tables and educational booths. The Cape Fear Garden Club will be there. Rev Credit Union, who sponsors Greenfield Lake Amphitheater, is going to be there, and they
Right.
have a postcard commemorative postcard booth that you can stop by. We're working with our community centers and Sunset Park Elementary to get kids to write birthday cards to Greenfield Lake. Those will be included in the time capsule. There will be pickleball demonstrations, free pickleball clinics at the pickleball courts, skate park clinics at the skate park, free paddle boat rides. Live Nation is a sponsor. There will be a free concert later in the afternoon. With local musicians. What am I forgetting?
The Ferris wheel. Just kidding. No Ferris wheel.
No Ferris wheel.
I was advocating for live animals and commemorations, I haven't got happened yet, but I don't know if you guys have seen a lot of this, on social media, our corporate affairs office and Isaiah Lovin, our marketing coordinator they've done a fantastic job in promoting this. I've been following it on social media and it's engaged over 1,200 people so far. The last that I heard, every time I go on social media to look at a post, it's gotten a lot of comments from local people who, remember it back in the day, who are excited to come, in support of it and participate in
You know,
the
and
day's
I have to
activities.
share with Isaiah, because we have a lot of vintage pictures like that too. We
Wow.
did presentations, and one of them's during the Azalea Festival with Ronald Reagan, right in there.
Oh my
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so we've got
That's
pictures
amazing.
just like that that we
So
can share
great.
with him.
That's
too.
so
Yeah.
cool.
Is there a deadline to get you the capsule pictures?
That's
or
a great
how do you
question. I'm
get
sure
that?
there is.
We
I,
get it too.
I just turned it off. Hang on. It says, well, you can bring a photo in or send it to us in the mail
Yeah, we did actually.
up to the
decide
day of.
put it up to day of.
Yeah.
Oh, day of,
Yeah,
okay.
So.
That could be
We're
easy to do
asking for
by
nothing
myself.
to be provided larger than 4x4. It's a cylindrical shaped capsule, probably about 2 feet long, 18 inches, 2 feet long. So this way we'll be able to stuff everything in it with receipts.
Is some online, speakers, also people?
Yes, there is a timeline. So there will be remarks by elected officials,
Mm.
by the Rotary Club to announce their project. And so we can send that schedule out to y'all. I don't think we have it in
It's-
agenda posted online,
No.
but we can send that out to this board. Make sure you don't miss what you want to be there for.
And just to add on, it was at last Tuesday's meeting at my Rotary Club, which is the downtown club. It's one of the larger ones in the county, that we did the presentation that staff has seen with Margie Herring and Margie and Patty Atchie and everything. And as you know, it was, quite impressive. I was so thankful Ron McMillan was there, which kind of showed, a sign of support, collaboration between Rotary and Parks and Rec to really try and support this thing, especially, I think the biggest thing that we all know, and Amy and Sally can tell you, is really the ongoing maintenance. I think the initial funding and fundraising, Dory Bashira, who is a member of my club, and she is the Rev Community Engagement Director, and she's at every event that happens in this town. Well, she invited a bunch of people, and a representative from Live Nation walked up to Margie and said, "I need you to put in touch my manager because we want to be a part of this and we want to talk to you about it." So, there's some traction there, and we hope we get some positive motion, forward motion with this and everything. So, anyway, awesome. Well, great.
Everybody put it on your calendar.
Yeah.
I have it. It's right around the corner.
It is.
Okay, so next on the agenda is to kind of brush up on our annual work plan. And I guess to select the top accomplishments that we want to work on first. Everybody has.
Terry, if I may,
Yeah, go.
so the top accomplishments, and this is up to you guys, we don't necessarily need to do it, but we were in the work plan. So before you go to the goals for the new one, but in the work plan, we have all of the top 3 accomplishments from the last work plan, and we were gonna expand on 2 or 3 of these in this actual document. It may or may not be necessary, but we would like to share this with City Council. So if there's anything on there that you would like us to add more meat to, we will, but if you're okay with the way it is, you know, this is our accomplishments and then your recommendations or your goals for next year. So that, try not to overcomplicate it, but if you want us to add more to it, we will. If you're like, no, this is fine, then we just stick with what we've got.
I think it looks like what we had decided.
Was there something else that you were thinking of that we didn't think about last time?
No, again, the first thing we're asking you to do is there's a document in your packet that lists the accomplishments and highlights from your work plan you've already completed. And like Sally said, we want to provide a report to city council on the accomplishments in your work plan, your last one. And so we just wanted to make sure that y'all agreed with what we were going to report on and ask if we missed anything.
The only thing that I see, and I saw it because it just came up and they finally had the ribbon cutting, was the naming of the Sambo and Field.
Ah.
Yeah, you guys did spend a lot of time on that.
Yeah.
I
I
would
think
add
we
that.
voted on it, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that they just did that.
Good catch.
Yeah,
Well, I remember because you kept saying, when's it gonna happen? When's it gonna happen? You know?
It is on here.
Is it?
Yeah, it's about 2/3 of the way down between Halliburton Longleaf Restoration and WMPO.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
There we go. Awesome. Okay.
Sorry, Gary. Try that.
So, and then moving on, if we can here to the committees. So at the last meeting, the board voted on creating 2 additional committees. So we have the Parks and Greenway Committee, the Engagement Committee, and the Student Involvement Committee. So for the Parks and Greenway Committee, we included goal number 3, which is Riverwalk activation, and 5, which is open space preservation, and also the Adopt a Park initiative remains in this committee. I heard 4 people, Joe, Ingrid, Franklin, and Paul volunteer to be on that committee, and I just want to confirm that that is accurate. And then also ask that one of you please volunteer to be the committee chair.
can we nominate Joe?
Nominate you.
No, it's not a good idea. I'm not organized enough. I know my boundaries.
I mean, Ron is no longer on that group. Would it be-
So, well, I can go through all of them, and then if you want to shuffle, that's fine. So the second committee, engagement committee, is goal number 2, which is invite new city council members as guests, and number 4, which is host Parks and Recreation Advisory Board meetings at park facilities and engage the public. I think Ron volunteered. And then I put a question mark next to Alexa, Terry, and Zach. And then the third committee is student involvement, and this is focused on goal number 1, which is UNCW and CFCC student involvement, Rhonda, Demetrius, and David. So I'd love to get some feedback on the committees.
I wouldn't mind, also sitting on the student involvement committee. Because I've got a real close relationship with university, especially through the athletic department, that I can.
So do we have a format for when these committees will meet? I mean, I'm fine with the one you placed me on.
I think it's up to the board how you'd like to approach this. If you would like to allot some time during your regular meetings, to, you know, meet with your committees. If you want to do this separately, I'd say that's on you, and I'm happy to support whichever way you prefer.
What way, what has been done in the past?
This is new, right?
This is pretty.
Yeah.
good. This isn't, pretty, which is good, but yeah.
I like taking some time during the meeting as opposed to trying to get everybody coordinated to meet. Might be difficult.
I would agree with that.
Since we're supposed to be here now, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, maybe like 5:15 or sometime during the meeting, like you had just said. To carve out
The only
some
thing about
time.
doing it during the meeting is if all the committees want to do that, then they're gonna just have to break out and do it, which is fine.
Yeah,
You can do that, but it can't be one discussion.
of course.
But if that's what y'all want to do, that's.
Maybe we could cut the meetings a little shorter and then take 15 to 30 minutes, like start at 5:15 on the committees and see how long it drive to not take more than a half an hour. That doesn't have to be recorded, correct? The committees.
No.
Not necessarily, no. So, you're suggesting like a committee breakout time that we'll allot during the regular meeting?
Will that give you guys enough time for what you have in our meetings?
I think that depends from meeting to meeting. On a night like tonight, we have a pretty light agenda, so it would work perfectly for it. There are others, you know, when we have guest speakers that last longer, but you don't need to necessarily have committee breakouts in every meeting, so we could identify those meetings where we think that you would have the time to do that and place that on the agenda and just be intentional about how we compile the agenda. When there's a heavy one, we advise you to break out.
Yeah, I kind of see it too, is these committees, I mean, just kind of virtual meetings, email and stuff, you know, I mean, brainstorming, hey, this is what we gotta do.
Yeah, you can do a
of
lot over email
communication
for
like
sure.
that, yeah.
And there may be, so for example, the Riverwalk activation, one of the items here is board members will review the Riverwalk activation plan with staff. So it may be that you set up another time with the staff person and meet with them. It's really at your discretion, to how you want to accomplish your goals, and we'll support you however you need.
Your eyes are going around, what are you looking for?
I'm looking for, is everyone okay with the committees that they're on? And if we can get, some volunteers for the committee chairs.
Yes, and I will volunteer.
Yay.
Thank you, Joe.
Fine with committee chair and whatever.
Engagement.
Number 2.
Okay,
So it looks like we need a student involvement committee.
I can do
chair.
I can chair for that.
Thanks, Ronna.
thank you. Thank you.
That was easy enough, right?
And we get extra pay.
Yes.
Yeah, double your pay.
Sky's the limit.
Okay. So, good? Good?
Yes, sir.
Very
Good.
good.
So,
Progress.
chair's report?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. One, and it's so good to see because I'm down there all the time, but it looks like the Fifth Avenue project is moving along. It's paved. I mean, they'd run into a bunch of snags. It seemed like they were constantly tearing up the road, fixing it, and then having to dig in again and everything, I know, but it's done.
Yeah, I think a lot of the nature of that is there was a ton of work going on under the road.
Sure,
with
yeah.
CFPUA
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stormwater and so forth. But yeah, the landscaping has started, our favorite part. So
Mhm.
yeah, great, good. The only other thing to bring up, and I was almost gonna email Joe, I had to look at the threads too, but I'd like us to spend some time at this next meeting and work and concentrate on open space preservation. I know y'all sent us those maps and everything, the GIS, which I had a little difficulty reading or understanding where these places were and looking at that and everything, but I just want to encourage everybody, if you didn't get that email thread, to start looking at what is available, and so we can have that discussion. And make a recommendation to council. I think that's what we were hoping to do, from staff was asking of us.
Well, just as part of your work plan.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And and refresh me, you had one specific site right behind,
Salvation Arms.
It's behind Maid's Park. Yeah.
behind Nade's Park, yeah.
It's
behind
close to
Nade's
Salvation
Park.
Army.
And then there was that blurb on the Port City Daily about a slice of land that the city wants to purchase.
So at the October 7th city council meeting, city council passed a resolution directing staff to pursue acquisition of a piece of property for a future Parks and Recreation site. And that passed 6-1. And it's great news for us, park people. Unfortunately, I'm not at liberty to say.
I was gonna say, here's the one.
I can tell you that she's not talking.
Well, that's because the property is still held privately. And it's held privately among more than one entity, and so they have to get their real estate stuff straight on their end. And then the city has to do its due diligence with an appraisal and phase 1 environmental. And so while the property is literally still on the market, we can't, and the city's expressed interest in it, we're not able to legally talk about it. It's closed session kind of stuff, but I can't wait to tell you when I can tell you.
But can you tell us who the one person is?
Oh, yeah, that's public
I thought it
record.
was
So,
public record.
Councilman Spears voted against.
Okay.
I don't believe he made any
Comment.
comments as to why. I believe he just voted negatively.
It's currently on the market.
Yeah.
We know that. How many acres is it?
I wouldn't say that it's being actively marketed, but it is, it's privately held, and, anytime the city or county or any public entity expresses interest in a privately held piece of property, then you're just gonna drive the price up, so.
So, anyway, again, just encourage everybody to, if you didn't get that email, I can resend my copy or something, and to look at those GIS maps, see what's available and everything, and next month have that on the table, just to have some, initial discussions about that, so we can, help staff and maybe, offer staff some suggestions.
Are there particular areas other than that one that they've already located within Wilmington that you want to add more green space?
I mean, I would just reiterate what I said when I introduced the concept of this goal, in that as you may remember, came about when we were discussing the resolution to have the state recognize Halliburton Park as a cultural heritage site, which further preserves the natural area at Halliburton. And so the conversation among staff and city managers was, we'd like to see this focus on protecting open space geographically equitable across the city. And so one that I have had in the back of my mind for a long time, because the city already owns it, is the tract of land that was brought up next to, between Mates Park and the city police and fire training facility, which is in the East Wilmington area. And I think another one that Sally and I have talked about maybe is a portion of the 10th and Banning site that the city still owns. It was the site of our former Public Works and Stormwater Purchasing RTS operations, and while I think that probably the majority of that site will eventually be sold for redevelopment, I think that there's a nice flat triangular site coming off of the back of it, which would be a good candidate for open space preservation, and that would be on the north side of town. So if you think about Halliburton being on the southwestern part, Mays Park being on the eastern, this being on the northern, then I would say the other place to consider, which happens to be where we have the least amount of public park space per population, is the north. Yeah, so that's, so I'll stop talking for a second. So that's 10th and Fanning. This block is owned by the city. This is actually closed right away, even though it's functioning as a street that city owns. City owns this block, and then on top of that, that triangular piece, that they own that too. So,
We own the
just a
left and
thought.
right of the Dream Center, is it down? Sorry, get right there.
This right here?
Yeah.
You own that too?
we own a portion of that, and the county owns a portion of that. So then just thinking about where we're lacking then, so I said East Wilmington, a lot of the old school Wilmington people consider Mays Park East Wilmington, and it is sort of northeast, but southeast would be in the 95 and 98 annexation areas. All we have is Inland Greens and neighborhood park in Seagate with
tiny neighborhood.
playground. Yeah, tiny. So when you're talking about the Landfall, Mayfair, Eastwood, Greenville Loop, Oleander areas, that's where we're really lacking a lot of public,
That's where it would be the most expensive to purchase too.
which is why we don't have with the 2006 Parks Bond, we committed to putting some parks in the 95 annexation area, which is the Landfall, Eastwood, Mayfair area, and in the 98 annexation area, which is the Wade Park area. So we built Wade Park to satisfy the 98 annexation, and we built Inland Greens and the Seagate Neighborhood Park, Eddie and Mary Hannigan Park for the 95 annexation area. But that, I wouldn't say that's really serving a whole lot of people in the 95 annexation area, because even though Inland Greens also has a passive park in addition to the par 3, I think people perceive that as being a park for residents at Inland Greens. And then Seagate, you're probably really only going there if you have small kids in the Seagate neighborhood and you're taking them there to the playground. So in my mind, that would be another area to think about, but it is the most challenging because we don't own, the city doesn't own a lot of property there, and all privately held property is going to be very expensive. But I think we've already done a good job just in identifying, the Mays Park area, and if you want to think about the 10th and Fanning, and then obviously what we've just done with Halliburton. So.
Very good. So I don't have anything else, staff?
Just a quick update. At the last meeting, we got a request from Paul. We were talking about the Adopt a Park program where, and in your packet, there is a list of all the parks in the Adopt a Park program. About an easy way to have a shared document where if you visit a park and you want to make a couple of notes about it to bring to the board, that you could do that. So Kim has helped us create this handy dandy Google Doc, which we will share with all of you, but wanted to get a little bit of feedback and see if this is going to work for you. Let's see, where did I put it? All right, so this is the document here. You would open it and it has on the top here, all of our parks are listed. And all of the amenities are listed on there as well, just for your enjoyment and knowledge. And then each of the parks are listed here, and there's just a blank document. So I just did a test here, and I just put, the date and my name and visited the park, enjoyed the view of the water, saw some turtles, trash can needed to be serviced. So you can just, insert, yes, you can insert an image. It's really easy. You can do it from your phone. You can access this whole document on your phone. So just
Yeah.
wanted to see if you,
Know that something new got added.
well, it would be on you to put the date, if you want to, and then we can,
Yeah, we appreciate some big dates when you're.
Yeah.
there.
Is this already shared with us?
not
Not
yet.
yet.
And then at the top of the first page, you can just double click on this citizen maintenance request. So if there's something that you're like, ooh, something that needs to be done about this now, you can just go to this form. This is also on our website. It's for the public, but you can just fill in the maintenance issue. So this is just a handy tool to avoid a phone call. Please remember, you can always shoot me an email and we will handle whatever the request is, especially if you think it's dangerous. So I just wanted to share those two resources with you and see if you had any feedback on the form.
It's great.
It does look good.
It's great.
I'll just put it in the
Share
for us.
system.
Yeah, I'm just making that.
Right.
That is all I have for my report, Chair.
So when will we get that? Like this week?
Yeah, I can share it tomorrow.
Get tomorrow?
Yeah.
Great.
Okay, discussions with the board, anything, anybody needs to bring or like to bring? The only thing I have is, December 27th, just mark that date in your calendar, it's a Saturday, it's my annual office client, Parks and Rec, Christmas party.
It's a lot of fun. If you haven't been,
Yeah.
I highly recommend it.
It'll be at the City Club in the grill room, from like 6 to 8 or so, so please make sure you put that in your calendar.
What was the
Love to-
date?
December
27th.
27th.
City Club.
Okay. That's good.
You said between, was it 6 to 8?
Yeah, 6 to 8, yeah, I'll confirm and I'll send out an email, but yeah.
Can we bring our grandkids with us if they're here for Thursday?
Give them a lot of sugar first.
Yeah.
Okay, if no other business, motion to adjourn.
We'll move.
So moved by Ron, second,
I'll second.
second by Ingrid, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Sorry.